Hey everyone, Flannel here. This is episode 15 of my No Skin to Pro Scrim series. This series is designed to be short, sweet, and educational, so let's get right into it. Episode 15, How to Peek Effectively. Being a good peeker is arguably one of the best skills to have in Fortnite. Peeking correctly allows you to maximize your damage output while minimizing the window of opportunity your opponent has to fire back. Here's a rundown of the tips you should know to ensure you are peeking efficiently in Fortnite Battle Royale. Tip number 1, right side advantage. In Fortnite, your camera is locked over your right shoulder. Here's a comparison of two people looking at each other around a corner. Notice how the person peeking with their right shoulder can see much more of the enemy than the person peeking with their left shoulder. Use this piece of information to your advantage in any type of gunfight, whether it be inside a building, around a pole, or even in your builds. In any case, utilizing this mechanic will make it more difficult for the enemy to see you and 10 times easier for you to see them. Tip number 2, jiggle peek on the right. A great way to maximize your efficiency with right-hand advantage is to only expose yourself for a brief moment to take a shot at an enemy. Some games like CSGO refer to this strategy as jiggle peeking because it looks like you're jiggling around a corner to take quick shots. Do this by lining up your shot before you expose yourself, then, when the shot is lined up, do a brief sidestep, fire, and return behind cover. If done correctly, your opponent should barely even see you on their screen when they are hit. Tip number 3, crouch spam peek. One of the safest ways to peek over a stair is to crouch spam your shots. Do this by lining up your crosshair while crouched and behind cover. Then, press uncrouch and fire at the same time. That's the most important part. And then quickly uncrouch again. This will only expose your head for the brief amount of time your weapon is firing and will allow you to take shots at enemy structures, or enemies in general, with less fear of being shot. This isn't the easy strategy because it requires some advanced mechanical skill. To help with this, here's a video of my hands while crouch spamming to better help you practice. As you can see, I'm using left control to crouch and spacebar to uncrouch. Tip number 4, glider redeploy peek. I know this just got taken out of the game, but I'll leave this tip here in case they ever decide to add it back. When on the low ground against an opponent, you now have a pretty safe peek option thanks to zarrfox on Reddit. Essentially, you jump out of your box from the side aiming at where the enemy is on high ground. Then, take your shot at the enemy, and press your glider redeploy to fly back into your box. The angle you peek from, and the speed of the peek, allows for a surprising and sometimes damaging attack against the high ground player. After a shot like that, you can be sure the opponent will now be fearful of your next move. This concludes episode 15, How to Peek Effectively. If you are comfortable with the tips provided in this video, feel free to move on to the next one, which will focus on the grappler. If you are enjoying this series, don't forget to like or subscribe, and as always, see you next video.